What happens when you cast a Black actor in a historical fiction series among white, wealthy nobles? You get controversy. This is exactly what's happening to actor Steve Toussaint, who plays Lord Corlys Velaryon, the sea snake, in the hit series House of the Dragon. Toussaint has been responding to racist commentary about his role as a Black man in the new series. The George R.R. Martin books do not assign a race to the character of a sea snake, yet there has still been a great deal of controversy, racism, and doubt about whether or not a Black man should have been casted in the role. House of the Dragon is the prequel to Game of Thrones, which began production and casting way back in 2007. Obviously, a lot has changed in 15 years. Game of Thrones cast primarily white actors when they were starting that series and writing and producing it. Today, House of the Dragon is trying to do the right thing to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion into its program. There are people who take issue with people of color existing in seemingly white dominant worlds. Remember, Game of Thrones is based on medieval England. When asked about this criticism, Steve Toussaint responded by saying that this kind of storytelling is not ahistorical. Instead, it is a very hard pill for audiences to swallow. They are happy with a dragon flying. They are happy with white hair and violet eyes. But a rich Black guy, to quote Stephen Toussaint, is beyond the pale. Diversity, equity, and inclusion touches all facets of society and all of the industries that we come across. That is why it's so important to me to facilitate content like Unconscious Bias for FranklinCovery. Sharing my knowledge about Hispanic heritage, Black History Month, women's history becomes extremely important to facilitating and creating awareness around things like unconscious bias, and just sharing in general the importance of understanding why it's so important to know about people around us. It's crucial to cultivating connections, right? We don't live in a world in a vacuum all by ourselves. By embracing the DEI space, by embracing the idea that there are people that are different from us, that there are other cultures that can contribute to everything that we know and love, we can really cultivate connections with people that will help make the world a better place. This is the right thing to do. And so making sure that we expand our minds, our hearts, and our souls into this idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion is just going to move us forward in ways that we never even realized. The bottom line, if nothing else, is at stake. It's so important to understand that we no longer live in a world where we can ignore the differences of society. In fact, the differences of our society is what makes our society so rich, so amazing. It's why people want to come here, want to visit here, want to live and work here. They don't want to come to a place that's all one thing. That's boring, right? That's why programming like House of the Dragon is so popular. Now we have other segments of the population that see themselves in these programs that will sit down on a Sunday night to enjoy the series and to enjoy the show. How can you say no to that? How can you not want that as part of your brand? So if you're ever looking for someone to really drive this point home, to talk to you more about the importance of Hispanic heritage, Black history, women's history, or other types of awareness, give me a call. Check out my website, RosannSantos.com. And remember, I do it all in English and Espanol.